I do get that the book market in the UK versus the book market in the US is very different. We've got the whole paperback versus hardback thing, and then we have books with very different covers and some books that also have different titles. So welcome to another UK versus US book cover video. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel at least twice a week, and then movie reviews here at the weekend. In the description box below you will find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads, where I do have some of the UK versus US book covers. I have made a couple of these videos so far, but you know, they just keep coming, and then you find books that actually have a different title, that you find that you've bought the book again even though you read it with the UK title and you think it's a different thing, but it's the US. Thankfully that really only happens to me in the library, so I haven't actually shelled out any money for it, but still it's jarring. Let's start off with one where I have the physical copies of both the UK and the US, and then we'll move on to some where I have electronic copies of the UK. I think it's wholly that I have the UK cover on electronic and I have the US cover because I am a UK person currently located in the US. But let's start with a Jenny Colgan book that I have read this month. This is Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, the US paperback. Now, this one has many different cover releases in the UK, and I think they're working on a new cover release again. So this is the UK version that I have. Please excuse the sticker. But yes, they are quite different. We have a very much kind of photograph type cover for the US one, and then we have this cartoony type cover for the UK one, and they're both verging on pink. However, I think that this one is definitely more sort of friendly looking, whereas this one is definitely has been marketed as romance. And then the backs of them are quite different as well. The back of that one is entirely plain but has the author cover photo, whereas this one has the continuation of the theme from the front continued onto the back, and you can see that it matches up with the books like that we you will have seen for when I read Operation Sunshine and West End Girls. So yeah, quite different. Even though they are both pink, they are very different UK to US. Both pink, both paperbacks, and you can see the difference in the size there as well. The US paperback is slightly larger and definitely floppier than the UK paperback. But yes, then we have two versions of a book I love very much that I've definitely shown this book on my channel in both its versions, but I don't think I ever did the UK versus US cover for this one. This is You Meet Everything by Catherine Isaac. This is the finished UK hardback edition, so it's got this sateen finish to it with the gold, quite sort of muted tones, and again it's continued onto the spine and slightly onto the back, and then this is what we have inside for the end papers. We have some glorious author quotes there, and that's the naked book, so very sort of classy looking. And then this is the US finished hardback. Again, just like the UK one, we have it carried on onto the spine and onto the back, a bit different from our previous one, but completely plain end papers, no glorious quotes in there, and then this kind of multicolored hardback inside. So very different. I feel like these books would have just been marketed as just completely different books when you see them side by side. And in a turn of events, the UK hardback is actually slightly wider and thicker than the US hardback, which is really interesting. They're not the same height at all, but yeah, when you see them kind of side by side, I feel like these would have been marketed as completely different books. But let me know in the comments, as always, with these, which you prefer and what you think of the difference between the two. Then, yeah, I will leave my whole video talking about that one linked for you, obviously. Then another one that I have a whole video talking about, where I have a copy of the finished US hardback, sorry. However, here is the UK version, which I believe is not hardback. I think it's paperback, but I cannot be sure. If you know, let me know in comments. So this is Broken in the Best Possible Way by Jenny Lawson. This is the UK cover, and we have the llama there with its pearls and its fez. And then this, which if you've seen that video, where I review this book in its entirety and do a cross stitch based on it, is the US cover. So the UK cover has way less detail. The UK cover has no photo of Jenny Lawson on it. And again, I feel like these books would have just been marketed in a completely different way. I'm covering up the B of that one. But even the fact that we've got the white font versus the black font, and then the author name in the red, and the fact that we've got a photo of the author on the cover of this one, very, very different. I listened to the audiobook, so I wasn't really affected by the cover, but I did listen to the audiobook that had this cover, and the cross stitch I think leans itself more to this one. You'll have to go and watch that video and come back and tell me. And then we come across our first difference in US versus UK title, because we have You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. This even like has the same publisher in the US and the UK. It's both published by Penguin. So You and Me on Vacation by Emily Henry. That is the UK version right there for you. Versus People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Now, I would say that these are both definitely a sort of rom-com type of novel. This will be filed in the romance section, definitely. This would probably be filed in women's fiction. Definitely both give off that vibe. However, different title, very different cover. I think I prefer the US title, but the UK cover, and the US book also has the palm leaves going around. This is the Book of the Month Club version, so I don't know if there's writing on the back of the regular hardback, but yeah, very, very different. And then the Emily Henry's previous novel, Beach Read, this is the US cover, and this is the UK cover. So that kind of like gives you a little bit of insight into the US versus the UK cover for People We Meet on Vacation, or You and Me on Vacation, because you can see that kind of the pinks and the blues of the Beach Read UK cover really tie in with the pinks and the blues of the Beach Read You and Me on Vacation cover. And then again, the Beach Read is yellow and the People We Meet on Vacation is orange. So they do definitely match their like predecessors, but again, very, very different covers there. And then we have a couple of other books I've read in previous months, and then a favorite of mine. So we have a couple of kind of thrillery type novels. This is the UK cover of Severance by Ling Ma, which I didn't think that I was going to love this as much as I did. However, if I'd seen this cover in the UK, I would not have picked this one off the shelf. I did buy this one as a cover buy though. This is the US cover of Severance. So we have the very, very plain in both instances, but completely different colours and completely different like ways of laying out the font. And this one obviously has the like fake rip in it. I did also actually rip it, but I think it kind of goes with the book. And neither of these to me look like a kind of post-apocalyptic thriller that takes place covering a global pandemic. Neither of them do. And so that is an interesting one. Definitely, if you have thoughts on this, please let me know, because yeah, I don't think either of them really match the genre. And then just to kind of mix the genre up a little bit more further, we have a thriller. Now, this is a thriller that people kept recommending to me, and this is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This is the UK cover, and I believe this one came straight out in paperback, because I know I'd seen The Hunting Party when I've been in the UK previously, but this one is, you know, very white, very plain, with some kind of, you know, ominous red writing on it, and then a tagline, a remote island, an invitation to die for, and then the to die for is in red, versus the US cover. Again, this is the book of the month one, but it looks the same. Completely different. Again, we've got the ominous change of color from the black to the yellow versus the white to the red, but even the tagline is different. So the title is the same, but this one is "You'd Kill to Be on It," and I think that is definitely a more effective tagline than what we've got on the front here. But then the sort of like blurb bit on the back there also gives you more information with the tagline. So the blurb bit has got an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island, and then it's got that like list of people, all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. And so I think personally, definitely in this case, I prefer the US cover. I didn't enjoy the book all that much, but I was definitely more drawn to picking this one up than I was to picking this one up. And I think I just love the tagline for this one more. So again, the way it's been marketed and the way it's been sold is quite different. And then finally, we have a favourite author of mine, which I have featured in previous UK versus US book covers, but I haven't featured this cover in particular. Now, I thought I had the finished paperback of this one for the UK version, so I got the finished paperback of the US version out of the library, but I had a proof version that didn't really have a cover necessarily. But this is We Were on a Break by Lindsey Kelk, which came out in 2016. I believe it was September 2016. I do have a mug that matches the cover of this one as well, which is very cool, which was sent to me by the publishers. But this is the UK version. Now, the US version looks like this. So we have the same like turquoisey blue color, but this one has obviously the loud hailer and the word break highlighted in pink, whereas this one has the word break underlined in the same way, but it has the little engagement ring, which I think gives you a lot more kind of clue into like what the book is about and what's going to happen in this book. However, I don't know if that's like giving too much away, too spoilery. I love the fact that these are the same color, but it's interesting that we've got more pink on the cover for the UK version versus the lack of pink on the cover for the US version. And then the engagement ring theme continues on the spine of the US version as well. So what do you think about that? The fact that that one kind of gives a little more away into the story, whereas this one just has the loud hailer and the person on it. What do we think about that? I don't really have a preference in that case. My main sort of like biggest preference would be that I like this version of The Guest List, and then the fact that this told you that I did this as a cover by because it was pink says an awful lot. But yes, let me know in comments your preferences. I will have another one of these videos coming up for you at some point in the future, because there are so many differences between UK and US book covers, but I will try and have some more physical copies for you, because I think that's definitely easier than seeing a physical versus an electronic, because we know as well sometimes the hardback, the paperback, the Kindle, the audio, sometimes they all have different covers. And then yeah, Jenny Colgan's novels just have multiple different covers depending what year you bought them in. So there we have it. I will be back with another video very soon, so make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you do not miss out on that. And yes, I will see you with either bookish content or a movie review very soon. Thank you for watching.